Another huge weekend at the box office for small budgeted films. I mean, we got the number one and two movies doing some tremendous numbers, and the number two movie, I'm going to explain, did something that hasn't been done in 44 years. Let's go.
Fucking go! Let's fucking go. Whoop. Here I come. Here I come.
We will watch your career with great interest.
You are such a kid.
This is where the fun begins.
It's showtime.
And here we go.
Welcome into another episode of the Movie Geek Podcast. I'm your host, George T., and this is the Weekend Box Office Report. Just a quick programming note. We are 5 episodes away from 200. I mean, kind of crazy. But if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe for me. That would be awesome. We are stuck at a number, and I would really appreciate just hit that subscribe button. I mean, again, you don't have to really watch a whole lot of them. I'm just looking to get a little bit more in the subscribe column. So, with that being said, let us go through the top 5. We've got Newcomers, the Breadwinner, making $7.5 million last week in its opening debut. Michael moves from 3rd to 4th at 11.8, so it's still making pretty good money. It has crossed now 340 million domestically right now. Number 1 last week falls all the way to number 3, and I'm not surprised. It is Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, 24.4. I am, again, not surprised. If you saw my episode on it, it was basically, what it was. It was good enough to be, part of the Star Wars, collection. Problem was, it wasn't a movie. It was more like just a 2-hour long episode for a season that hasn't been done yet. So there you go. But go back and check out that review. Now, number 2 stays at number 2 and 27.3 million. Obsession, which has crossed now $105 million domestically. I believe it's done almost 200,000 worldwide. So that is crazy. And then number 1, Backrooms, 81.4 million. I mean, this is incredible for 2 movies that are done by young directors, young writer and directors. Let's take a look at Obsession really quickly. And again, I have a review of this. I think it is my number 2 right now, movie-wise, for the year so far. Obviously, we got 3 big ones coming up later on this year, so most likely Obsession will finish in the top 5 for me at the end of the year, unless something comes along and knocks it out. Just saying. I still have Project Hail Mary as number 1. I know that might be, like people are like, "Ooh, why Project Hail Mary?" Well, I just really like the film. Like I really have a soft spot for it. So that being said, Obsession. Curry Baker has done absolutely wonderful job with this film and with the creation of other things coming. We are going to find out the fate of Nikki from this film in Anything But Ghosts, which he has been working on, while Obsession is growing in numbers every single week. And that brings me to the fact of the day, which I brought up in the intro. Obsession is the first movie in 44 years to go up 3 straight weeks at the box office. That is crazy. You would think of all the movies in the last 44 years. You know, again, you have your Avatars, you have your Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, and the list goes on and on. Those are the only ones that I can come up with because they are the top grossing films of all time. None of those had 3 straight weeks of positive numbers. Obsession has. For a very quiet film that just popped up on the scene. I remember saying that at the beginning of the year, Hokum was supposed to be the scariest movie of the year, and it had a lot of hype. And Hokum was a good movie. Probably will finish in my top 10. But nobody was really talking about Obsession until like the month before it came out. That I saw anyway. And I had seen the trailer and I wanted to see this from the beginning. And as the hype got closer, and then I didn't get to see it on opening weekend, but after the hype train went to go see it, and I'm part of the hype train now. Obsession, go see it if you haven't already. And if you have, go back and see my review, or go back and see it a second time. Who knows? But Backrooms, a 20-year-old director. He had been working on this web series since he was like 16 for YouTube, and he, and then it got turned into a video game that I saw that many people were playing because Ashley and George watch YouTube content, so people watching games. I can't do that. I really can't. But now he is the youngest director to ever have a #1 movie. I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit. His name is Kane Parsons. So Kane Parsons, congratulations on again being the youngest director of a #1 movie in history, and I don't see how that's ever going to change unless Hollywood really embraces the YouTube culture. Because so far what we've seen is, we had Iron Lung, Markiplier doing his thing. He did the whole thing by himself, funded it and everything else. Now it's on YouTube now for purchase. He did it with a $3 million budget and made 51 million. I mean, that's freaking insane. But again, it's that cult it's that YouTube young generation that went to go see Backrooms. A person like me who would go and see it would need to take George or Ashley with me because I wouldn't know what's going on, the lore of it. I would just think maybe it's an okay movie, or I could say it was shit and I don't know exactly what the lore is, and maybe that's why. Because remember, Five Nights at Freddy's 2. A lot of people didn't like it because they didn't understand what was going on. And if you understood the lore, which, again, knowing it from George, it made sense to me and it was okay. I'm not saying like it was a great movie, but I'm also not going to say it's trash and I don't know, why people liked it. But again, knowing the lore of that second movie, and more so the first one, I understood it. So again, Backrooms is one of those ones that I'm going to need that kind of lore to understand, and maybe that will give me more of a perception of the movie. But I will get to see it hopefully this week. So, all right, let's recap real quick. Breadwinner at number 5, 7.3. Michael at number 4, 11.8. Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu, 24.4. Number 2, Obsession, 27.3. And Backrooms, number 1 at 81.4 million. So again, what a weekend for Obsession again and Backrooms. Uh, Backrooms was a $10 million budget um, for it, and again, it had a lot of followers from he had a lot of followers from the series that he was doing, and then now it's a movie and it's a reality that he's the number one youngest director and has the number one hit movie. But does that stay number one? Oh boy, we're gonna find out this week. We got some contenders coming your way here. Let's look at small movies coming out first. We got two movies that are coming out on Thursday, which is kind of odd, but so here we go. We got Toxic. It's a Kandahar movie set in the bygone era. This gripping tale unfolds in the coastal paradise of Goy, where a powerful drug cartel pulls the strings beyond a facade of sun-soaked beaches and vibrant culture. Um, it looks like a good movie. Definitely will check it out when it gets to streaming. But it is in very limited release. Another limited release, The Amazing Digital Circus: The Last Act. So obviously, if you are an Amazing Digital Circus fan, this is a movie. It is a feature-length cinematic event that brings the hit indie animated series to a close. It combines earlier content with the series finale, episode 9. It debuts in the theater in limited run before releasing it on its digital platform. So you could either wait or you can go see it in the theater. But it starts Thursday and it'll be in very limited time run. That probably is going to be a week. So there we go. All right, now we've got a French film coming out on. So these are all now Friday and in limited release, except obviously the Netflix ones that I will talk about. But we got Japanese anime, Jinsei. A man becomes a J-pop idol, an outcast, a leader, and an oracle in a 100-year chronicle spanning this past, present, and the future. Wild kind of anime, but aren't most animes wild and crazy? So that will be in limited release. We have a French movie called The Little Sister. Fatima, the youngest of three daughters, treads carefully as she searches for her own path. She struggles with her desires, her attraction to women, and her loyalty to her caring new world, and maintaining loyalty to her family. So another one of those coming of age movies where she's trying to find her way in the world and not disappoint her family. So that is in limited release. We have Chinese animation coming out as well, Another World. A spirit guide in the afterlife realm helps souls reach reincarnation. When he meets a young girl whose anger threatens to turn her into a monster, he must save her while learning about human emotions. So this anime style is obviously a little bit different than the Japanese one, and it looks pretty decent. That is in limited release as well. We have Seven Snipers. A retired sniper in hiding on an Australian ranch must reunite her elite kill squad when a violent warlord threatens her daughter. Sorry. So Rhonda Mitchell makes her return to the big screen. She is the sniper in this film, trying to reunite her squad to take on the Warlord. So it looks pretty good. We got two Netflix movies coming out this week. One is a documentary, and one is just a regular movie. So we'll go with Mexico '86. Mexico's improbable bid to host the 1986 World Cup, an audacious, against all odds feat made possible only by pure Mexican ingenuity. So if you are a World Cup fan and remember back in '86 when this all occurred, or you're just a soccer fan in general, this will be a documentary you would want to see. I might see it, but I'm not sure. Just saying. So we got Netflix also has Jennifer Lopez in Office Romance. Jackie, who is played by Jennifer Lawrence, president of CEO of Air Cruise, runs a tight ship in her business, including a rigid anti-fraternization policy for all her employees. But when a sexy new lawyer, played by Brett Goldstein, begins working for her, the policy is put to the test. I mean, it's called Office Romance for a reason. You know she's going to be tested. This looks like a comedy. So I may watch this. And the one last week that Sacha Baron Cohen was in. Why am I drawing a blank right now? You'll know when we see it. I might do a Netflix show coming up. All right, now a movie that I am anticipating. Actually, there's two that are anticipating coming out at the same time. We've got Caroline, a young woman played by Samara Weaving, joins a charming con man, Kyle Gallner, on the run, leaving a trail of crime and passion as they hustle through the Southeast in search of her estranged mother. So, this looks very Bonnie and Clyde-ish, but ratcheted up with the sexual intrigue. So, I know I've mentioned this, but Samara has been kind of typecast for a little bit in the horror genre. It'll be good to see her in something else. And I'm hoping this is better than Eeny Meeny that came out last year. That's why I put it on my list of movies that I'm looking forward to this month. Now, let's put this into perspective. I mentioned this movie was going to end in January, that I thought this might be the first major bomb of the summer or the year. Technically, Star Wars is not a full-blown bust or failure at this point, or bomb, whatever you want to call it. But it had a great opening weekend, and it's definitely slowed down. And it will probably slow down, but it probably will make its money back. Not thinking that this one will. Masters of the Universe, the He-Man movie. The Sword of Power leads Prince Adam, played by Nicholas Gattelson, back to Eternia, a world shattered under the fiendish rule of Skeletor, played by Jared Leto. Joining forces with Teela, played by Camila Mendes, and Man-at-Arms, Idris Elba, Adam must embrace his true identity as He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Evelyn is played by Alison Brie, and Marina Baccarin plays Sorcery. Okay. Good cast. I'm not familiar with the guy who plays He-Man, but there's something about this movie that I just can't get behind, and I'm guessing that a lot of people aren't going to. So we will see how this weekend turns out for this movie. But I want to say that this is going to be a bomb. If you guys agree with me or disagree, comment down below, please. Because honestly, I'm not sure why I cannot get behind this. And if it bombs, you can't blame Jared Leto. You can't. He's barely recognizable. He plays Skeletor, for Christ's sake. Skeletor, behind a mask. So it's not him. It definitely isn't going to be him. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I just feel like it's just not going to do well. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be the #1 movie next week. Maybe Backrooms will take a step back. But I'm going to say right now that I think #1 movie might be the last one, and another movie that I was looking forward to, and I will be seeing tomorrow night for a fan event. Now, I'm not sure exactly what is happening at this fan event. It's 10 minutes extra from the original. So when I looked up what was coming out this weekend, I looked at some of the movies and times to see, what I could see and what I couldn't. So when I looked up Scary Movie, because I know George wants to see it, I looked it up, and Thursday popped up first, and it was like, hey, we got a 7:30 show, or we got a 7 o'clock show that is a fan event. I've never seen one at Showcase, so I don't know exactly what it entails. The only thing I know is that we're going to get a collectible print out of it, but the runtime is 10 minutes longer than the show at 7:30, so maybe they're going to have, maybe an extra, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I really don't. But, yeah, I think this is crazy. But I think it's going to be #1, and here's why. If anybody saw the popcorn buckets, the bong ones that are going to be accompanying Scary Movie at Regal and AMC and maybe Cinemark, I'm not sure, but I know Showcase isn't going to. I don't smoke anyway, so sorry. But so I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But however, I think that's going to draw a ton of people to the theaters just for that popcorn bucket, and they want to see Scary Movie, which is interesting because it's Scary Movie 6. However, it is only called Scary Movie, so it looks like they're going to try to restart or reboot their own franchise. We'll see if it works. I mean, you never know. The trailer looks amazing. If you hadn't seen it, go back to the one I did on Monday. The newer trailer is on there, which looks funny. And as I said, I'm hoping that they didn't show all the funny parts in one trailer. That being said, I said the same thing about Naked Gun last year, thinking I wasn't going to enjoy Naked Gun, and I actually did. So I think I'm going to enjoy this one. Let me run it down for you. 26 years after outrunning a suspiciously familiar masked killer, Shorty, Ray, Sydney, and Brenda, Marlon Wayans, Shawn Wayans, Anna Faris, and Regina Hall find themselves targeted by another mad slasher. This movie has so many parodies of horror films, even as far as I saw in the new trailer with Squid Games, and there's a few other references to some other movies in there. I mean, God, I hope this is good. I really do. I just find it funny that Brenda, who I believe got killed in, I want to say the third film, was back for 4 and 5. Like, but I could be wrong. It could have been 4, and then she was back in 5. I don't remember exactly, specifically, but I know, you know. Oh no, yes, it was 3 because she got killed by the girl from the ring, and then somehow she came back in 4 and 5. So crazy stuff. But will this movie beat the Backrooms, beat He-Man? I have a feeling it will. Don't quote me on it though. Or or will Obsession have one more week of positive gain and maybe jump up to number 1? It was 3 on opening weekend. It was 2 the last 2 weeks, but also had positive gains, which again, 44 years. That's freaking insane. Again, there's been so many movies in 44 years that have done billions of dollars. Now maybe some of that is inflation, but the 3 biggest was Avatar and Endgame and Infinity War. And yet those movies did not have positive gains 3 weeks in a row. They might have had 2. A lot of movies have had 2. But 3? Obsession. All right, so that is the weekend box office for this weekend. So it's going to be a lot of content coming as we get into June here. I've got some other shows that I'm working on as well. Still waiting for that damn Doomsday trailer. Yeah, still waiting. All right, let's go with the news. So I've got two. Updates on 2 things that I've been kind of talking about as it relates to horror, and then one thing that just popped up, and I'm not sure there's a real call for this, but unfortunately, we have a date for it. Let's start with that one. A new Rambo movie is coming out. I want to say this is a prequel. As Noah Citio will play John Rambo in this one. David Harbour and James Franco have also been linked to this film. So I'm unaware of a lot of details on this. I did see it pop up on my feed, and I wanted to bring it to your attention because it is coming out next year in 2027. So obviously, clearly, there will be more to come on this one. Also, a movie that I was looking forward to this year, the M. Night Shyamalan one they shot in Newport, Remain, moved back to February of 27. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it will be Valentine's Day weekend. So unfortunately, that movie won't be coming out this year. Bummer. But I'll definitely see it next year. Crystal Lake in October on Peacock is finally wrapped, and we got some details. This takes place after the death of Jason, about 9 months after, and how Mrs. Voorhees became who she became. So obviously, trauma does a lot of things, and clearly, we're going to find out as we vault from Jason's death to where we get to the first film. So this will be kind of a prequel bridge, focused mostly all of it will be about Mrs. Voorhees. We may get some, obviously clues as to how Jason died or why he died or whatnot. But it's mostly going to be focused on Mrs. Voorhees, played by Linda Cardinale, who I think will work well in this role. Finally, and I wasn't sure how to respond to this because I love Mike Flanagan. I think he right now is doing some amazing work. He's got so many projects in the works right now. He's got Carrie, Dark Tower, but he found time to do an Exorcist movie. Details are not quite out as to what this actually is. Um, could it be a reboot of the original? Um, or could this be a continuation of it when the other Exorcist movies have um, tried to reboot themselves or sequel themselves and has been absolutely dead on arrival, i.e., Believer, or any of the other Exorcist movies they've made since the first two? Although Mike Flanagan always had a soft spot for the third one, I'll let it pass. But Mike Flanagan confirmed this past week on the casting. Scarlett Johansson is your lead. Diane Lane, Jacob Joe Lawrence Fishburne, John Leguizamo, Sarah Colley, Carla Gioni, Katie Siegel, and Chawit Okafor. Now, um, Carla and Kate, and probably some of the other ones that have been uh, casted in Mike Flanagan stuff, like um, you know, The Haunting of Blair Manor, or um, Fall of the House of Usher, or Midnight Mass, etc. He has kept a lot of the same actors in those things. So I would assume they would too, but those were part of the list that was put out there. Again, I'm still not convinced that this will be something that I will be anticipating, but probably because again, it's Mike Flanagan. I think he, I think he's one of the writer and directors that I will go and see from now on. Obviously, Christopher Nolan is there. You got Spielberg, um, whose Disclosure Day is coming out next weekend. But there are certain directors that I will definitely want to see, like on opening weekends. And even if I don't feel like there is a need for another Exorcist movie, because it's Mike Flanagan, I will definitely see it. It is what it is. All right. That is the box office report for this week. I hope that you're enjoying this, and I know you guys are because you guys are definitely viewing this stuff, and I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe or pass it along to somebody that might want to subscribe and watch the content as well. And again, the best part about this is it's just not a lot of visuals, unless it's a trailer reaction or my top 5 for the month, because I am fortunate enough to get trailers out there for those. Whereas sometimes I've tried to put trailers out in regular episodes, and I don't know why, but maybe just because I'm small, um, a smaller channel, or there's something that I keep forgetting. But I haven't gotten content strikes, so that's, or copyright strikes, because again, why, if you download something from YouTube Downloader, um, and it says to take away the copyright, why would YouTube want to block that? Why would a movie company want to block, putting out putting out the trailer in a reaction? I don't know. I could be wrong. But that is all for now. I will see you again very soon. I will definitely be seeing Scary Movie tomorrow night, so look for a review over the weekend. I'll try to bundle it with something else, so I will maybe have backrooms ready for you. Who knows? We'll see how the weekend goes. I'll see you all at the movies, though.
You like that, baby? Let him know where I came from, yeah!
See you next time. Bye.
Waiting for you. Goodbye. 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 Hasta la vista, baby.
That's all, folks.